My name is Margaret Wertheim, and I'm a nutritionist and registered dietitian in Chicago, and I specialize in nutrition for fertility as well as prenatal nutrition. Today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about weight and why it matters for fertility and pregnancy. There have been a few studies that have looked at being overweight as compared to normal weight and how that affects success with ART being assisted reproductive techniques such as IUI, as well as IVF, and women who are overweight tend to have lower live birth rates. In addition, in the research, women who are overweight tend to have higher miscarriage rates, as well as higher rates of gestational diabetes and preeclampsia during pregnancy. Preeclampsia is high blood pressure. So all of these different issues are really good reasons to try to lose weight in order to help you get pregnant. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit today about how to do that. So I think there are a lot of weight loss programs out there that are really based on calorie counting. It's not something I would recommend. Definitely recommend eating really nutrient-dense foods when you're trying to get pregnant, and really focusing on blood sugar regulation to help you lose weight. So carbohydrates are the main foods that are going to affect your blood sugar, and we're going to talk a little bit about what foods have carbohydrates in just a minute, but just as a little review, so anytime you eat any food with carbohydrates, your body breaks it down to sugar. The sugar gets into your bloodstream, and it needs to get into the cells of your body in order to be burned for energy. So that's where insulin comes in. Insulin is a hormone that the pancreas secretes that helps sugar to get into the cells of the body for energy, but it also tells the body to store fat. So when you're trying to lose weight, the store fat signal is not very helpful. So what we try to do is try to keep blood sugar really steady to keep insulin levels lower in order to effectively turn down that store fat signal. So we do that in two ways. Number one, by controlling the amount of carbohydrates in your diet, and number two, by focusing on low glycemic index carbohydrates. So those foods are foods that raise your blood sugar much more slowly and keep your blood sugar very steady versus foods that are going to spike your blood sugar. So we refer to low glycemic carbohydrates as slow carbs. So some foods that contain carbohydrates you can see here: grains, which include breads, bagels, pasta, rice, any kind of sweets, fruit, starchy vegetables like potatoes, beets and carrots, legumes, as well as dairy products. So those high glycemic index foods that you want to limit are things like sodas, white bread, cookies, cakes, and candy. And those low glycemic index foods, or the slow carbs that you want to focus on, are listed here. So the goal is to really limit those high glycemic index carbohydrates and include those slow carbs, which include things like black beans and oatmeal, apples, as well as this Ezekiel bread, which is a sprouted grain bread. Very high in fiber, helps to keep that blood sugar regulated. So incorporate those slow carbs, limit those high glycemic index carbohydrates, and it will help you lose weight. So you'll be eating a much more nutrient-dense diet. I think you really feel better, have decreased sugar and carbohydrate cravings, and it will also help to support your fertility process.